When Albert Einstein was born into a middle-class family, his parents worried something might be wrong with him. His head was unusually large and misshapen. Thankfully, it returned to a normal shape within a few weeks. But their concerns didn't end there. Einstein was slow to speak. He didn't say a word until he was 4 years old. People whispered that he might never amount to much. But what they didn't know was that he was already forming complete sentences in his mind, quietly rehearsing them under his breath, before finally speaking them aloud. At the age of 5, his father showed him a simple pocket compass. For many children, it might have been just a toy, but for Einstein, it was a revelation. Why does the needle always point north? That question sparked a lifelong passion for science. A year later, he began playing the violin, a love that would stay with him for the rest of his life. At school, Einstein's grades were strong, especially in math and science. But his performance depended on his interest in the subject. When he was curious, he excelled. When he wasn't, he struggled. By the age of 10, Einstein began educating himself beyond the classroom. At 12, he taught himself geometry. By 15, he had mastered calculus. But he hated the rigid, disciplined teaching style of his school. So at 15, he dropped out and left Germany to avoid military service. His parents feared for his future. Here was their son, a school dropout with no clear career path. But Einstein hadn't quit learning. He applied to the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, and he failed the entrance exam. Yes, Albert Einstein, one of the greatest minds in history, failed. The problem wasn't his intelligence. He excelled in math and physics, but his preparation in other subjects wasn't strong enough. He studied, tried again, and the second time, he passed. It was there he met Mileva Maric, the only woman among 6 students in his section, who would later become his wife. After graduating, Einstein faced another setback. For nearly a decade, he couldn't find an academic position. His professors knew he was brilliant, but his rebellious nature made them reluctant to recommend him. Universities didn't want to hire him. So Einstein took a job as a clerk in a patent office. It was repetitive, simple work, but he loved it. Why? Because it gave him something priceless: time. Time to think, time to research, time to dream. It was in that modest patent office, during those quiet hours, that Einstein developed ideas that would change the world. There he formulated the theory of relativity and gave us the most famous equation in history, E equals mc squared. Einstein was nominated for the Nobel Prize many times before finally winning it, 11 years later. By the end of his life, he had become one of the most influential physicists of the 20th century. He wrote hundreds of works, he shaped modern science, and he inspired millions. But perhaps the most powerful lesson he left us wasn't in his equations, it was in his mindset. Einstein said, "I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious." He also reminded us, a person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Einstein's life is a reminder that success isn't about never failing, it's about never giving up. It's about following your curiosity. It's about daring to question the world. It's about turning setbacks into stepping stones. You don't have to be the next Einstein, but you can be the best version of yourself. So tomorrow, rise up, learn something new, push yourself further, take one step toward becoming someone you'd be proud of. The world is waiting. Subscribe Lifted by Life for more true stories of strength and transformation, because together we rise.